I think sometimes we as creative people, we take and look at success as a very linear thing. I think we look at where we want to be and where we are, and we chart a path for that, and it looks like we're way down here and where we want to be is way up there, and we see this path that goes up and up and up and up and up, and it always looks like success is getting further and further away, or at least it's never getting any closer. And what we don't do ever, I think, is we don't actually look at where we started and where we are and see how far we've come. Because that truly is success, where you started and where you've come. If you look back at how far you've come over the last 6 months, over the last year, over the last 3 months even, and see what progress you've made, and not just necessarily in your career, but in your life, in your craft, in, in little things, did you have a habit that you wanted to get rid of and now it's gone? Or on the converse side, did you have a habit that you wanted to create, a good habit, a habit of, I want to write every day, or I want to do something for my career every day for an hour a day, or I want to work on my acting, or I want to do research every day, or I want to do something every single day on my career, and you are doing that for the last month or the last 6 weeks or whatever, you've been able to carve out that time every single day. That's success. That you should look at that, creating that habit for yourself to move yourself forward as being success. You should count that as success. You've been successful in that. Because what we often do is instead of looking at what we've done and marking the things that we have actually accomplished, we look at where we want to be and say, but I'm not there. But I wanted to be there, but I'm not there. And think that, well, we're not successful. So what's the point? Or feel like maybe giving up, or feel like, it's never going to happen. Instead of looking at where we are today and where we were 6 months ago, or where we were a year ago, or where we were even 3 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago, and say, you know what? 6 weeks ago, I couldn't do this, or I wasn't doing that, or look at what has happened for me in the last 6 weeks that I never even dreamed. I now have this opportunity that I didn't have back then because of the connections that I've made, or the networking that I've done, or whatever. I don't know what you're working on, but if you look at the progress that you've made incrementally, you now can see that you are creating little successes in your life. And if you create those little successes in your life, it gives you the impetus to keep going. And that should make you feel good about what you're doing and what you've done. And I hate the thought that somebody gets to the point in this business where they just think it's not worth living anymore. And that's why I decided today to talk about success, because I think if we compare ourselves to other people, if we compare ourselves to where we thought we were going to be, or where we want to be, or where we hoped we would be by now, we we're setting ourselves up for that kind of despair and that kind of feeling of failure. But if we take a look at where we are today, and we look back at a year ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 years ago, whatever period of time you want to benchmark, and look at where you were and how far you've come, you can then start to see the kind of progress that you've made. Yeah, there's going to be some ups and downs, always. Life is full of ups and downs. But by and large, the downs are places where you learn, and the ups are further up because of the downs, because you learned something while you were there. You learned something about yourself, and you learned something about what not to do next time around, not to find yourself back there again. And really, it's not about the situations, because we're all going to have situations, and we're all going to have similar situations that happen to us. It's about how we view those situations, because the situations are just situations. There's no inherent good or bad in any situation. It's how we react to it and how we view it that puts the good or the bad there. So if we can view it as, well, that's a learning experience, that's something that's going to really teach me how to do something different or be different in the future, or that's going to give me a good lesson, is a better way to handle some of these situations than, oh, well, that sucked. If you know what I mean. So I want more and more people to love what they're doing. But you know what? If you can love it and learn from it and enjoy what you're doing and appreciate the little successes along the way, I think that can help.